What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 27 of our Leipzig career mode, and today we are in the January window now. We are going to run through this whole window today, assuming any games don't pop up here. I don't expect any to, but as you can see, we've drawn Liverpool in our Champions League round of 16, so maybe simming that Napoli game maybe wasn't the best idea, but we have to beat the best to win that tournament. Liverpool are one of the best, but we're going to fly through this window here. We're going to do the whole window today. And hopefully, we may see a little bit of movement. Now, our team is in a really good spot, I feel. Now, there are a couple things I'm thinking of changing, though. Now, one being Dani Olmo. I think it would be better possibly to move him back to one of these spots. Hopefully, you know, we'll see. At the moment, he's a cam. We may be able to move him back to CM and then maybe go for a left player, you know, that's kind of more winger-ish. You know, we'll see as we go forward. Also, Sirachi, someone we're looking to move on. I'm not sure where he's currently. There he is, Sirachi. Someone we're looking to move on. And then possibly, or, well, definitely one of Wolf, Cliver, and Lookman. Now, maybe Haidara also if a really good bid comes in. At the moment, these players down here don't play a ton. We've got a lot of good players in a lot of good positions. You know, if heavy bids come in for some, you know, we'll take a look around. We'll see. And, of course, every window we get some pretty crazy bids. So we'll see if we get to a point where we're in one of those positions where we have to accept a bid. You just can't say no to it. That's happened before. We did it with Mukele, and Mukele left in the end for £85 million. It's just one of those things you really, really couldn't do enough with, or really couldn't do anything about in terms of, you know, denying such a bid. But at the moment, we're kind of zipping through. Now, one thing I am going to do, let's go to the squad hub here, because at the moment, one thing I do want to change is Limer and Adams. I want to, on their development plan, just want to move them to CMs, because they do get the little negative bonus there when they're playing there, even though that's kind of their position. So if we just turn them into regular CMs, that'll probably work out nicely. And then Berger, of course, one of our younger players, showing great potential. I'd like to get him some more game time as well. We're going to get him into that CM position. Of course, you can still do defensive stats on the CM position, so that's no problem at all. But he's already a CM Limer, but I think if we just really went out there and just made him one, that would be the best way to go about it. So let's jump a little bit more forward here. And one thing we also want to do, I think what I'm going to do is put... Is Sirachi on the transfer list? Yes, let's add him to the transfer list. Sirachi's 23. He's a good player. But you know, we're going to add him to the transfer list as well. If Hasselberg leaves, then Sirachi can stay. At 23, 78 overall, that's one of those players, you know, who can grow into that backup position behind Angelino. But Hasselberg would, one, have to leave, and two, we'd have to get a bid in that we really, really liked. But that would also solve a problem there. Hasselberg is 30, of course, so he's not getting any younger. You know, but we shall see. We've got a couple of things in here. Interest in Tapsoba by Dortmund. That would be a very Dortmund-esque signing, you feel. But yes, we're moving through this window relatively quickly as an offer comes in for Upamecano from Sociedad for $98 million. Upamecano is one of those players who will not be leaving at all the entire time we are here. It's just not going to happen. He's just going to have to get over that. I don't believe he has a release clause. Then again, I'm not sure in the end. Offer of $87 million is coming for Klosterman. We're going to delegate this for quite a bit. $147 million. We'll see how that comes back, but not really a player I'm looking to move on. But then again, a player, if a high enough bid comes in, we can find a right back for. Offer is coming for Hasselberg for £36 million. See, that is kind of what we're looking for. We're going to delegate this out a little bit and see what Inter say. But that's a pretty decent bid to start with from Inter. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll definitely keep an eye on that. Hasselberg transfer offer from Brighton as well. City have backed out of the Klosterman deal. That's fine. An offer of 37 this time from Brighton. So those are the kind of bids we're looking for backup players who are getting older. Those are the best times to sell. Those are the best times to sell. Whether, they're, big deals at the club icons kind of thing. He's the backup at left back. He's 30. He's getting big bids in. What more could you really be looking for? We're going to reject a short-term loan for Lookman. Offers come in 40 million. We're going to wait till that Brighton one comes in before we go ahead and accept that. 40 million is not too bad. But as I said, Brighton are still negotiating. So we shall see. We continue to move forward. Getting toward the Saturday here where we play Hoffenheim, a very, very good team. I'm going to wait on that Sriracha offer as well. And I've accidentally went to save. But we're going to wait on that Sriracha offer as well. Hoffenheim, we are about to play. They sit in 5th. They just got done beating Dortmund. This is not going to be a walk in the park. It'll be a rather difficult game here. It's a very big game to come back to winter break from, as Brighton have kind of backed off a little bit there. So what I think we're going to do is we are going to move Hasselberg on. Now, we'll reject the Sriracha one, and we will accept this Inter one and reject the Brighton one. I think that's just what we're going to do. 40 million for Hasselberg, as I said, age 30. He's a good player, but he's got a replacement already made at the club. We can get 40 million into the bank. I think that's a pretty good bit of business, and we can get Sriracha off the transfer list, and we can move him a little bit further up there in here, and he will start getting more game time. Of course, he was third option. He's only played 1 or 2 games so far. But it looks like Hasselberg is leaving, and Sriracha will be coming into that spot. And that is not too bad. He's a little bit upset. He hasn't played all year, really. But it looks like he'll start getting a little bit more game time under his belt. But as you can see, sometimes you got to do business with players you don't necessarily want to sell. But players where it's just good business to sell. So let's jump into this game against Hoffenheim. A big game. Everybody's fit. Sabitzer wanted to play, and him and Cates are pretty interchangeable at the moment. So let's jump into this. Hoffenheim, Leipzig. Let's go. Kind of backed off it a little bit. I think it slipped out wide. Can we get it out one more time? We can. And here's Klosterman. And Klosterman's racing into a really good spot here. And it's Klosterman. And Klosterman, oh, it's a good block. It's come back. Another good block. Oh, I tried to turn there. I pressed A because I thought the shot was going to come in. It didn't. A couple of good blocks. Finds Angelino on the run out wide. Now Jovic has stepped off his man. It's 1-0. What in the world has gone on there? I believe Jovic has just dragged that center back all the way out and then cut back inside, and the center back just hasn't followed. Jovic was in so much space right in front of the goalie. Look, he steps all the way out there, and and then he just cuts back inside. I'm not sure where the center back's going. It's dreadful, dreadful marking, and Jovic, after 25 minutes, has given us a 1-0 lead. Cunha. There's one more across here. Sabitzer. Sabitzer sees a perfect run from Dani Olmo. Great ball. Great save. Dani Olmo tried to go near post. He couldn't really get to the far post to really wrap his foot around it. Nice football. That's a good ball in there to Kramaric. And Kramaric trying to get away. Kanate just muscling him off. Excellent defensive work. Here comes to Sabitzer. Now can Sabitzer play a ball through? He can. Jovic has stepped in behind. And it's Jovic in on goal. Jovic! 2-0. It's his second of the game. It's our second. It's 42 minutes gone. And now we are in command here. Hoffenheim at one end just forced off a chance by the build of Kanate. He's gigantic. And right up the other end, a quick counter attack. Straight through the middle, and Jovic grabs his second. And it's 43 minutes gone, and we are cruising 2-0. Here's Fekir. Just trying to race away from these center backs, and Bender can't keep up. And Fekir goes near post. Decent save to start the half. Very, very tight angle. Obviously would have been incredibly tough to find the back of the net, but they've let him walk in right behind. Leimer plays it forward. Is Jovic, of course, on a hat trick. Nicely done. It's one more turn. It's Sabitzer. Sabitzer. Goalie gets a touch and, just cleared off the line. Just needed to go a little bit quicker. It's a really good save, and it's really good defending as well. Couldn't quite find the third. Now Leimer racing away. And slide it out wide to Klosterman, and Klosterman's in a good spot. And Klosterman racing ahead, finds Nkunku. Space for him. Oh, what a finish. What a strike. You cannot leave players of this talent all alone in positions like that. What a goal from Nkunku. And that may have wrapped up the points for us. 3-0 the score. Let's watch this again. He just curls this beyond the goalkeeper, doesn't he? Steps inside. No one near him. Just one touch, turns. And watch this finish. In off the post. Perfectly placed. What an excellent, excellent finish from Nkunku. And it's 3-0. Cuts back inside to get it. That gets clipped forward here. It's a nice turn into space. Here's Jovic on a hat trick. Can he get by Penmi? He can. And Jovic, great finish. Game over. A hat trick for Luka Jovic. And we have decimated Hoffenheim today. I don't know what they did to Dortmund, but we have been brilliant. Getting right at this back three. Using our pace to get in behind. They have pretty slow center backs, me included. But on 66 minutes, it is 4-0. Oh, how in the world has he done that? It's just kind of bouncing around with it. And I've backed off. Dreadful on my end. It's one back for Hoffenheim. That is really poor defending. João Mario with the goal. He seems to be everywhere in this game. No matter where you go, he joins your league, João Mario. And he's grabbed a goal there. Gets clipped in. This guy's just dancing around. It eventually gets in. I've backed off. Not much more we can say there. Dreadful on our end. And João Mario pulls one back, though, with 15 minutes to go. Should just be a consolation. Sabitzer. One more. Angelino back inside. Here's Danny Olmo. He can slip that through to Eduard. And we can hit back just like that. We do. Eduard with the goal. 5-1. And any chance at a miracle Hoffenheim felt they may have had, torn away from them with that Eduard goal. It's just too easy. He steps right off the back into that gap. An easy finish for the striker who's very much in form. And it's 5-1. A minute to go here. And we are going to come away with a very big win. Top 5 Hoffenheim. And we put 5 by them. An incredible performance. As Jovic goes and collects the match ball, a hat trick for the Serbian. And what a performance from us. 5-1 the score. As Dortmund drop points to Wolfsburg, or Leverkusen, not Wolfsburg, Leverkusen. That's what we were looking for with Bayern. But that opens up a little bit more of a gap between us and Dortmund. That continues to open up. It's 5 points, and then Bayern drew their game, which means we are top of the table after that very impressive win. Very, very nicely done. And we will take that and give ourselves a little bit of thanks to Freiburg. I will give you the chance to prove yourself, Sriracha. You will get game time, and Hasselberg has been sold. So £36 million comes into the budget. Haslenberg gone. Srirachi promoted. I think that's a pretty decent bit of business. We're on £53 million right now. And at the moment, as I was speaking of, maybe the left side of the forward line is where we look to go. I'm not 100% sure at the moment. We might also find ourselves one of these midfielders like Harry, who can, play out there, but, also has the ability to play wing kind of guy. I mean, Vlasic, of course, never for sale, but we'd have to take a look at some left backs or some strikers, center forwards. It would be a little bit difficult. Correa would be a really good one. 44 million on that left-hand side. That would be a good one. Cunha as well. Maybe this is the lad right here. Matheus Cunha, between 40 and 52 million. We're going to try and bring him in. He can play cam, striker, or on the left, and he will be playing a left cam / striker role. So maybe he's the perfect fit. Let's offer a transfer fee for him. 42 million. We'll just start with that. They want Naby Keita and 24 million. We're just going to remove the exchange player and re-offer the fee. 42.6 this time, though. They want 56 plus a 15% sell-on, which is... that's a pretty large jump. We'll go down to 46, see what they say. They want 50, so 50 million. We'll bring him in for 50 million pounds. Matheus Cunha in at the club, perhaps. We're going to check and see what he wants wages-wise. But we have the money for his wages, and this is going to be a nice signing. As I said, we might want to move Dani Olmo back a little bit. Important's he's going to have to be on important, isn't he? That's what he had in mind. Fair enough. 5-year deal. He's only 22. Plenty of room to grow still, Cunha. And he can also play a little bit further back if we need him to. So, I mean, he's in a really good spot in terms of those things. So let's edit his wage. I mean, it's not necessary really, but we'll lower it just a little bit. £50,000 a week. And Matheus Cunha's in at the club. That's a pretty good buy. I feel that is a pretty good buy. And it's just a direct replacement for who do we want to move down here? Maybe Wolf. I really want to move Wolf on because Wolf, he's a really good player and everything, but he's just off the bench. I'd like a little bit of pace. So if it's not going to come, you're not going to get too many chances in that kind of area. So I think Wolf is a player we ought to try and move on after all this. At the moment, I'm going to keep Dani Olmo there, but I think I want to move him a little bit further back. It is what it is, unfortunately. He just doesn't impact the game enough there for me. And he'll have to move back into midfield and have, a fight. We've got 5 or 6 really good midfielders, but I think a little bit of pace on the left is something we really ought to try and do, try and add to the team. Wolf is happy we've decided to move him on. He hasn't played as much as he'd like, but, those things happen. Those things happen. So one thing we do have to do as well is an offer comes in for Limer. They're willing to do Ruben Diaz and 24 million. That would probably be a really good trade-off in real life, though. Limer's not going anywhere because we don't need center backs. One thing we want to do is go over for Cunha and make him a center forward. That shouldn't be difficult to do. What is he at? Cam? There he is. Development plan. Development plan. And, oh, nope, wrong guy. Cunha. Make him a center forward. That shouldn't take too long to do. 305 weeks for some of those positions back there, which is pretty funny. Center forward, 2 weeks. It won't take very long at all. And the new signing should fit in very, very nicely. He turns into a really good player. Already a good player. And can really make that left center forward spot his own. But as you can see, we've got Schalke coming up. Another big game. We want to keep our momentum going. Every time we seem to go top, we tend to kind of mess it up. We're going to delegate this. But every time we seem to go top, we mess it up in the next game. Let's see if we can hold on to this spot just a little bit longer. And grab ourselves a big win here over Schalke. So let's jump into it. Schalke, Leipzig. Let's go. Really good ball in. Oh, that's an excellent ball as well. What a save from Galashi. I didn't think that second ball was going to get there. It did. It did. It's a humongous chance for Schalke early on in this game. And we survive. They're going to come back as well. That ball gets clipped in. Another good save. And oh, he's missed the open goal. That came really, really quick. And he's just missed the open goal. It's Maupai. And what a start for Schalke. We need to wake up. Limer. One more out wide. Keita. Back inside. It's lovely football here. It's a great touch from Jovic. And Jovic, has he been brought down there? He has. It's a penalty. Rojas brings him down. And we are going to have a chance from the spot to take the lead here. We'll see that again. He's kind of just holding on to it. Yeah, he's just gone right through him, hasn't he, Rojas? A penalty indeed. And Cunha missed his last one. Can he score this one? He can. Goalkeeper doesn't move. Into the bottom corner. Decent penalty there from Nkunku. And we take the lead on 17 minutes. We will take it. We'll take the penalty. It's a really poor challenge from Rojas, really. And Nkunku makes no mistake. This is a nice finish. Just puts it into that corner. Goalkeeper doesn't move. 1-0. Limer. Can we play that forward? Nice turn there from Jovic, and he sees Fekir making the run. And can we grab a quick second? We can. And off the post. Fekir with the goal. 24 minutes gone. And 2 quick-fire goals have given us a really, really good spot in this game. Or put us in a really good position. It's an excellent finish. In off the post from Fekir. Lovely stuff. 25 minutes gone. It's 2-0. Ooh, can't quite get to that. He's moving forward with it. Get to that one. One more. Nicely done. Here's Limer. Now can we push forward before halftime? Gets to Nkunku, and it's one more to Dani Olmo. And Dani Olmo stretches the defense. It's Dani Olmo. What a save. Almost grabbing a third before halftime as it comes to Jovic, and he's clipped it back post, and it's eventually cleared away. And that will bring us to halftime, 2-0. Angelino again, moving the ball around now. Here's Limer in a bit of space. It's good football here, and it comes to Jovic, who turns and has a pop, and oh, he's hit the bar. What an effort from Luka Jovic. Almost giving us another goal. That was an incredible attempt. It's good football here. We step inside. Here's Angelino. He keeps his run up and he slips it through to Jovic. And Jovic, there it is. It's game over. Brilliant from Angelino, who just held off the challenge and found the ball to Jovic. And he finished it off excellently. It's a lovely, lovely goal. It's 3-0. It's game over. Schalke are gone. But Angelino just holds the challenge, finds the ball. And Jovic, in great form, finishes it off. And Cunha, of course, coming on for his debut as well. Not the greatest of clearances. And with a minute to go, we are going to come away with a thoroughly deserved win. As the whistle does blow. 3-0 the final here. A pretty good game, though we were just clinical. They had a couple chances early, Schalke, and a couple chances late. But when the game was getting tough in the middle there, we were the ones dominating. As Bayern and Dortmund both win their game. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through to the end of the window. I don't expect anything else crazy to happen here on this final deadline day, but you know, we're going to run through it anyway because you never know what kind of bid is going to come in for the players you have, as Lukaku's moved to Barca for 75 million. Offer for Sabitzer, £110 million. Ooh. Let's see if we get something wild here. That might be something we think on in the summer. Because I really want to move Danny Olmo back. Do we move one of the players on? I mean, having five or six really, really good players in the middle is probably a little bit overkill. But we'll see. I mean, they'd have to match that for us to accept something like that. Leicester willing to pay $13 million. I thought Wolves agreed with something. $13 million for Hans Wolf. We're gonna accept that. Let him go. He's got a little bit of a career ahead of him, I feel, but we've just got too much in those spaces as Pereira and Lindelof have come in at Bayern and Pavard has left. Yeah, the Wolves have broken down negotiations with Sabitzer or us and Sabitzer at least. Halilovic has come in to Schalke. Remember when he was the big thing, Halilovic? In every FIFA and every football manager. Not quite anymore. And that looks like we are going to get to the end of the window and nothing is really going to happen, as I kind of figured. As an offer is coming for Eduard, though. £36 million. That's a pretty good offer. But that will not be happening on the end of deadline day. Hans Wolf has been sold. Get him off the wages. He's not really playing. It's one of those things. Let's take a look at the top deals before we end this episode. Milinkovic-Savic. Oh, these are older ones. I mean, Lukaku is this window. Wan-Bissaka's moved to Paris. Foden has moved to Napoli. Diaby's moved to Sociedad. They have a lot of money in this game, Sociedad. Neves to Atletico Madrid. Koke to Paris. There are some pretty big deals in here. Partey to Liverpool, but unfortunately they don't really separate them by window anymore, which is kind of annoying, but you know, we will have to deal with it. So next episode, as you can see, we've got Hoffenheim again, this time in the cup. And then, as you saw, we have Dortmund coming. Next episode is a pretty wild one because I also believe we have Liverpool in there. We do. So Hoffenheim, Dortmund, then we'll sim Cologne and play our first leg against Liverpool in the Champions League, guys. But that is a wild episode coming your way, guys. But that is going to be it. I hope you folks have enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more. And peace.